You never listen. We were all friends playing tag together. While chasing one of my friends, we came to a halt near an alleyway. Hey, passing through this alley is forbidden, one of us said, but our friend had already crossed through to the other side. Now we were all just staring at each other. What do we do now? A friend asked. We'll have to go too, what else? I replied. No, there are snakes and scorpions in this alley, my older brother, who was playing with us, warned. This alley was a narrow gap between two large buildings where it constantly rained trash. People would throw their garbage out of their windows, and the ground was completely buried under layers of filth and dirt. Then, one of us stepped in and started walking. Seeing that, all the friends began to follow. We should move too now, my brother said, stepping forward, and I followed right behind him. All our friends had already crossed over. My brother and I were moving forward. The deeper we went, the quieter everything became. Even the sounds from outside stopped. We were trying to keep our feet from sinking deep into the trash, when suddenly my brother stopped. Something crunched under our feet, like brittle bone. His gaze was fixed downward. What happened? I asked. Do you see this? He said. Something white was buried there. What is it? I asked. He pulled it out, and my eyes nearly popped out of my head. My legs began to tremble. It's a skull, my brother said. Throw it away, we need to move on. I urged, but my brother kept turning that skull around in his hand, staring at it. His fingers traced the cracks in the skull, slowly, almost gently. Then he smiled, looked at me, and said, help me crush this into pieces. What? No, I screamed. We should leave. Who knows how this skull got here? What's the point of knowing all that? He said. Then he took a brick and started breaking the skull. Let me go, I said, starting to move ahead, but he stopped me. There are many more skulls here, he said. What? I gasped, frozen in place. He then pulled out skulls from various spots and lined them up in front of me. We have to crush all these skulls, help me. No, I won't do it, I said, and started heading back. No, don't go. My older brother started crying. Hearing him cry, my steps faltered. I turned back for a moment but then started moving forward again, only to see him stand up while leaving. He took off his belt, tied all those skulls to it, and hung them around his neck as he began following me. He even held a skull in each of his hands. Seeing this, I ran as fast as I could, but he wouldn't stop chasing me. You never listened to me, he kept crying out while advancing toward me. The clashing of the skulls sounded like a skeleton was coming after me. I didn't stop and kept running until I reached my friends. What happened? They asked. My brother, I panted, just as my brother arrived there, still crying. Even being the younger brother, he doesn't listen to his elder brother, he said through his tears. What happened? My friends asked him. I told him to crush all these skulls and he ran away, he said, showing them the skulls. Upon hearing this, those people became completely silent. They kept staring at the skulls, longer than they should have. Then they looked toward me and said, why aren't you listening to your brother? My jaw dropped. Are you guys crazy? Look at what he's asking me to do. I screamed. What is he asking? It's just crushing some skulls, one of them said. My brother started taking out all the skulls. No, I'm not doing it. I backed away. Just then, someone stood behind me. How the hell will he not do it? He muttered and grabbed my throat. No, I won't. I was screaming, but they all swarmed me and threw me into a corner. They just stood closer and closer until I couldn't move. They stood before me while I lay on the ground. It was evening and the sun was setting. Then they moved aside and my brother stepped through the middle, holding a skull in both hands. I was only asking you to crush a skull, he said while crying, and he smashed the skull onto my head. My head began to spin. I was on the verge of fainting. Why don't you listen to me? He shouted and hit my head once more. Why? He kept hitting me until my head was badly split open. One of them laughed. Another picked up a skull. What's the problem? Slowly, they all started agreeing. After a while, I died. My face was completely unrecognizable, yet they didn't stop and kept hitting me until those skulls were reduced to powder. It was night now, and they were bathing in the powder of those skulls. The powder rose into the air, sticking to their faces, their hair, their tongues. They breathed it in. Ah, what fun, they said, rubbing the powder on their faces. They danced in the powder as if intoxicated.